Hello and welcome to part 7 of Let's Build a Kingdom. It's been a while since I uploaded anything, mostly because of my Minecraft installation being a little wonky, and running your own server is not very simple, at least not for me. I am not extremely technical when it comes to server technologies. I've also lost a few recordings over the past few weeks due to either technical problems or my own forgetting to press record. Yeah, I feel like a pro. Suffice to say, I've built sections of the city more than once now. And you'll be seeing the successful recording of that endeavor. Anyway, what you're seeing here is the new and improved marketplace with extra stuff in it, all 1.4 stuff, to make it feel more like a marketplace. I didn't record the construction of that because it would be a little boring to watch considering the spaces I have to work with. So next we're going to be building the gallows and the Undertaker's home. This place here in the map that we outlined a little while ago. So I started with my outline for the gallows right next to the courthouse and the prison and the Undertaker. So I was going pretty simple for this design. I wanted to make it sort of a public viewing space, and when I was planning, I wanted it to be, right in the front, so anyone who comes into town can see everyone hanging there, hanging out. Don't screw with the police, that sort of thing. And right now I'm just trying to make it look interesting. But I started with trapdoors for the mechanism to release the prisoners to fall, but I decided to use pistons instead because I could more easily construct a redstone system to cause them to go in and out. If anyone's interested in this build for this redstone circuit, I can do a video for it if anyone asks. But I think it's fairly simple and self-explanatory. Now what I tried to do there was I tried to make it look like there was blood on the ground, but that didn't look right, so I just used mossy cobblestone to make it look a little used. Then I went into the back and had to cover up the redstone torches that I created and light up the area. Next, we're off to the Undertaker's. The space I had set aside had shrunk by 1 block due to the increased backside of the gallows. And because of that, I had to create a front door that was slightly off-center. And I really couldn't decide where I wanted it to be. Because of that, after I construct the roof here, I am going to shrink the house 1 square to the right. Just because I couldn't stand it not being even. I'm recessing the front of the roof there just to make it look a little bit more interesting. I'm really loving the slabs. They help a lot when you're trying to create depth in a building. And now I'm testing out different materials. I wasn't sure if I wanted the base or the whole house to be a different material, but then I just came back to the conclusion that dark wood is the best for this kind of store. And then we move inside. I quickly threw down some rafters, because those are quickly becoming my new favorite interior decoration. And now I'm going to spend a few minutes trying to figure out what kind of coffins I should have in the front of the store. Playing around with sizes and shapes and designs, and none of them really look perfect to me, and the one I settled on I'm still not totally happy with, but it was kind of the closest thing I could think of to what a coffin might look like. If anyone has any better ideas, I'd really like to hear them. I'm not happy with those coffins. And down here is the area where you keep the bodies, nice and cool underground. Threw some red wool down here to make it look kind of like it's covered in blood and gross and weird. But for the most part, fairly simple undertaking. This is the jewelry shop. And I built it, I started building it with two blocks thick, so that I had space to put bars over the windows. You know, to keep those unruly mobs from stealing all the gems. And there's the outline for the Cooper, and the outline for the fortune teller's house. Down a, not really dark alley, but an alley. And I'm also modifying the road, just to feel a little bit nicer. Make it more uniform. I had cobblestone steps creating the sides of the roads, and it just wasn't totally jiving in my head. Now here I'm preparing to put the roof on the Cooper's place. But first I gotta put some windows in to make it look a little bit more like the warehouse that it kind of is. And I put in a nice flat roof and bordered it with some wooden steps. Now in the front I decided to put in some jungle wood pillars, just to add some more variation to the front of the building. And I threw in a skylight also, to let some light in and look a little different if you're, say, running across the rooftops. Now, inside, I just started making boxes everywhere. Because they make barrels at a Cooper, and, well, the only thing close to a barrel is a chest, so... They make chests here. They have a big supply of wood and plenty of crafting tables. And that's pretty much the whole interior there. I added a roof on here in one of the recordings that I lost. So I was rebuilding it anyway because I didn't like how it looked. So this is that change. You can see me using the brand new corner steps added in 1.4. Really was a pain in the butt to get running. And at this point, I start realizing that I'm going to want to fiddle with the design of the exterior, just because it's a little plain and uneven. So I start shrinking the back wall and trying to think of how that space is going to be used inside with the clerk's front desk. You can also notice that this building also has a skylight because, well, it's super fancy. I put all the various stages of gem hood up on the wall there. And put in some display cases filled with diamonds and emeralds. And same for the floor. With some crafting tables and some ovens, this place is pretty much finished. Now I'm putting in the floor for the food store, or I should probably say the butcher shop, since really that was the main purpose of a food store back in medieval times. And threw in a chimney just to make it look a little bit more interesting, playing around with the height of that store. When you have so many buildings in a town, it's really hard to try and make them look different. So I just keep experimenting. Playing around with extra elements on the top of the roof, on the sides. An important thing to remember is, when you've taken something to a point, try and go a little bit further. It usually ends up looking better. Now I've moved on to the shoemaker. And I decided that the shoemaker was going to have his living quarters be on top of his store. And I am simply just playing with the design. The shape of this particular place was decided by the alleyways around it. And I wanted the alleyways to be 1 or 2 blocks in width, just so that if people were chasing each other around in the city, it would be a little bit more fun to, push people down certain alleyways, get them stuck, or generally have a jolly old chase. Once I had edited the outside of the building to have a more interesting main wood type, which is the jungle wood block, I started putting in highlight elements and then windows, as you can see I'm doing right now. And I still wasn't quite sure about the food store, so I made a few little quick edits there. Then it was the interior of the cobbler. I decided very quickly that I wanted a front and back to the store. So I threw in a wall that separates the workbenches and the materials chests from the front of the store. And you can see a little display there with all the different types of boots that he makes. Put in some paintings so that when you're getting your shoe fitted, you got something to look at. And generally, it's a very nice store. I think this guy sells a lot of shoes. And moving on up to the top of the store, you'll find the cobbler's living quarters, where he has a nice double bed, a jukebox, and some plants. Very good decoration. And next up is the cobbler's main supplier, the leather works. This was a very large building, and I figured that it just has a lot of people making leather. It's probably one of the bigger industries in this town. I don't know why I decided that, but I did. And I also decided that because they have so many workers, they're going to need a bunkhouse above the building. Throwing in some trim to make it look nice. And modifying the size. Making sure that the variations in wood and building materials, I say it a lot, but it really is tough to remember to do, because watching it now, while I talk about it, I think I still need to do a little bit better job. So I may revisit the exterior of these buildings again. I'm not sure. Always playing with the height of the buildings, too. The skyline is very important to me. Every time I finish the top of a building, I pull my character out so that I can see how it looks compared to all the other buildings. Because I don't want one big, flat, uniform cityscape. It's really boring. And now I'm going to finish off the road, just to make it match the other sections. Now, having finished the exterior of the leatherworks, it was time to go inside and set up the tanning area. I decided that the paintings with leather on them would be the racks where they stretch out the leather to dry, and there's the fire where the heat is generated. This place probably smells very bad, and it's just really warm. I also put in some paintings with some pants and some shirts on them, because I assume that they cut them also to fit specifications, perhaps. I doubt that's how they did it back then, but hey, this is half Minecraft, half medieval times. Now you can see I was playing around with rafters there, but I quickly found out that the ceilings were not high enough to support such a feature. And up here I lost the recording of me creating the upstairs bunk area, I decided to just show you a panorama instead of showing me build it again. Thanks for watching this episode of Let's Build a Kingdom. Hope you join me next time. Whenever I get that episode out, I'm a little behind, but thanks for hanging in there. Bye-bye.